Hello. Today I'm here to talk about a movie that I believe is one of the greatest movies of all time. And that movie is Jaws. Look at it. It is amazing. Um, I have to say, even though this is, you know, um, this is the only film to ever scare me. Um, the way this movie has been made or was made is outstanding, and I think is also, like, you know, this movie had a lot of problems on during the filming because they filmed in the actual ocean, and the shark they built was not at all tested for water. Therefore, the very first time they ever put it in the ocean, it sunk to the bottom of the sea. And yeah, many you know problems ensued. But it's based off of a book uh, written by Peter Benchley, who co-wrote the script. And I have to say, this is, many people say the book is way better than the movie. Well, this is an instance where you can't say that at all, because the movie is way better than the book. The book is all right. It's decent for what it is, but overall, when you compare it to the movie, yeah, really, it's not even close. It's just, I think everybody would know the premise. A shark goes around Amity Amity Island and kills people, and starts off with a woman, and then you know, and then a kid is killed, and then somebody else is killed, and then the protagonist, chief of police's son, has like a traumatic experience with a shark, and then it kind of really gets more personal for Chief Brody, and he and two other men, Hooper and Quint. Matt Hooper is from the Oceanographic Institute and is there to help them out with the situation. Quint, he's actually a fisherman, and he would be able to be the best person to catch the shark. And the mayor is kind of basically, he's not kind of, he is a complete jackass, because he wants the beaches open in order for money, because it's summertime and they need the people there, and they need all the vacationers there so they can get their money. That way they'll be able to live for another year. That's how their town's money is from. It's tourists. And one thing is, in the movie, he's just doing it because he's a jackass. In the book, it's because he owes money to the mafia. Spoiler if you've never read the book. Sorry. But yeah. Well, basically, I think people can already gather, if you've seen the book, if you've seen the book and read the movie, you can basically know what happens. Even if you've never seen the movie, I think everyone can gather. Yeah, it's a movie where a shark going around eating people, and then and that's the reason why, because the mayor won't, he won't close the beaches when he really should. Yeah, it just came to me. Perhaps I should say spoiler alert for some of these. Then this is called Film Talk, so I'm going to be talking about a movie. So, oh well, whatever. Basically, yeah. Chief Brody. He basically just wants the problem that they have, the shark problem, to go away. He wants it gone. He doesn't care if they have to have Quint, the fisherman, to kill it. Fine. If Matt Hooper, the foremost shark expert in this entire movie, would be able to know how to probably get rid of it, she has good ideas. Good, but I know I'm just kind of just rambling on about this movie, but this movie is amazing. And it's one of those things where sometimes, you can say so much to give it a movie justice. This is one of those times. So much one could say about Jaws. You really have to see in order to truly appreciate it if you've never seen it. But I think most people have seen it. And if you haven't, why haven't you seen this movie? It's a great movie. The film was nominated for 4 Academy Awards, and won all but one. The one it lost was Best Picture, which went to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And while that is a great film, I personally think this should have won. But One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is very good, so it's a situation where I'm like, I could see why that movie won. It's very good. Acting is just as great as Jaws, and direction, very good. This film won Best Original Score, and rightfully deserving. So, because music is done by John Williams, and who is the greatest film composer ever. That's who I would go to for scoring of a movie. If I could, I'd get John Williams because his music is always great. I've seen movies that really suck, and yet when the music, but I love the music in a movie that just is terrible. And then when I see John Williams did the music, I'm like, oh, there's a reason why I like the music, because he did it. It's not some, it's one of those redeeming qualities of a movie that's terrible. But this is a great movie, and Spielberg should have been nominated for Best Director. I feel. I think many others do too. Many say Robert Shaw should have been nominated for an Oscar, which he should have, for supporting actor. And I think Roy Scheider could have been nominated for Best Actor because he was really good in this. Roy Scheider, all 3 of these actors, you believe everything. you believe they are the characters they're playing because they're so convincing and they are so likable, and you root for them every step of the way. Um, Now, I personally, it's odd. Because this is one of the greatest movies of all time. 'Cause it is, and yet this movie gave sharks a negative uh, impact. Like the impact of this movie painted sharks as evil eating machines. They just eat because, well, something swam in front of me, so I gotta eat, and that's not true. Um, I love sharks. They're my favorite animals, and I grew up watching shark shows, Shark Week, and when I got this originally when I was 6 years old. I got it on VHS in 2000, and so excited. I was so excited because here's this legendary movie I've heard about, and know the theme because everybody knows the theme to Jaws. And you're like, I'm so excited, and here I'm gonna see it, and this movie scared me. And the reason this scared me was because, I actually turned it off because it starts and it's kind of like, oh, sonar and stuff going on. That's interesting, but all right, that's fine. And movie starts and the music is so foreboding. It's kind of mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and it just keeps getting louder and louder and louder. As it keeps, it, the beginning comes out. It comes as the movie goes on. In the very beginning, the music is louder and louder. And without anything ever happening, that just freaked me out. And then the woman goes naked and swims. And I'm like, oh, she's going to die. All right, I'm into this. Naked woman swimming, shark around. You can put two and two together to know what's going to happen. And then fall down. Just kind of like, ugh. And then she keeps getting pulled and then dragged around in the water, and then she's on a buoy. I'm like 6 years old. I'm going, and then she just gets taken underwater, and then you don't see her anymore. And I was kind of like, well, that's one way to start a movie. And then this movie goes on. It's kind of like, okay, that was exciting. And then it's kind of like calm. And then the movie continues. And then, and then there's a beach scene. And then the little kid gets attacked. However, I turned the movie off before that happens because the music was so loud. And it was just kind of like, and then just as the shark was about to get the kid, I turned it off and I didn't watch it for 4 years. I was so scared. When I was 10 years old, I finally watched it. And I watched it again right after I finished because I'm like, that was really good. Why was I scared of this? And I realized it was the music. John Williams is the man. Okay. And yeah, I think that's all I have to really say. Except for, this film was based off of 1960 New Jersey shark attacks, which were referenced in the movie. But many people think those attacks were done by a bull shark, but a great white was pinned because one was found with human remains in it and was captured, and that's really all I've got to say about Jaws. It's an amazing movie. You should watch it if you haven't. Because if you haven't, what's wrong with you? I'm kidding. There's probably nothing wrong with you, but I'm just gonna look at. It's just weird. Everybody should see Jaws. But yeah, that's all I've got to say about Jaws. It's an amazing movie. I know I kind of just rambled about this, but this movie is so amazing that I'm just kind of like, I was so trying to prepare myself for this, and I just I don't know. I'm sorry if this is terrible, but I was just kind of like so excited about a movie like Jaws that it's amazing. It really is. So watch it. All right, bye.